It's your boy Luke, back again for another PGA DFS video, this time for our core picks for the Zozo Championship. And we're heading back to Japan. It's been a while since we've been there. Last time we were over at Narashino was when Tiger Woods ended up winning in 2019. Ended up tying the all-time win record mark right there. So some good vibes over there. Don't have quite the same level of field that we had in 2019 with the travel restrictions, with everything like that. Have a few of the bigger name people that didn't enter this field, but still some massive Draftkings contests out there for us to try and take down some big GPPs. And of course, plenty of casuals playing because it's football season. So huge edges to be had. And what we're going to do in this video is we're going to cover my favorite play in each salary range for the slate. So from our stud plays the whole way down to our absolute flyers, going to give you the guys that I'll be focusing my projections on. If you guys didn't already, we already have my course breakdown video as well for Narashino. On there we go hole by hole. We talk about the golf course, some of the players that I expect to play well in terms of a skill set fit. And overall, this is a ball striker's paradise. So I'll put the link down in the description for that video so you guys can get an idea of exactly the kind of players that I'll be targeting. But without any more delay, let's hop right into the picks for this week at the Zozo Championship. And now getting into our core plays for our spend up option, we have hometown guy Hideki Matsuyama, who comes in with a relatively good price at $10,300. Also somebody my modeling absolutely loves. So a very good course fit. We saw that there in 2019 where he posted a top 3 finish and gaining over 1.17 shots gained tee to green per round. That's good enough to make him my second ranked play in the entire field for this week. And again, has some very good vibes. Obviously being in his home country and playing on a golf course where he's been successful before. If we take a look at how he played at the CJ Cup, lost nearly 10 strokes putting at the CJ Cup. That is completely unheard of. Obviously Hideki, not known for his putting prowess, but for him to lose that many strokes on the greens, that is a true outlier performance. If we take a look at his strokes gained on bent grass, which is the surface that we'll see here at Narashino, he is one of the best putters in the field on bent grass, is a routine gainer on that category, and loses strokes putting on every other surface. So definitely has some good vibes at this golf course. We've seen it before. Has a lot of good vibes with the bent grass surface. In terms of his average baseline putting stats, he's nearly 0.2 shots better per round on bent grass. So I expect him to rebound from that minus 10 shots gained performance, but still very good from tee to green last week. Essentially had everything working but the putter. If he goes out this week as a neutral putter or even just gains a stroke putting on the greens, could very well end up taking this golf tournament by a stroke or two. Or our second man in, and boy, this is somebody who either ends up being one of the best plays of the slate for me or somebody that cost me a ton of money. That is Emiliano Grillo at $9,100. He comes in as a top 3 model rank this week. He's my number 3 ranked play out of 78 in the field. And a lot of it comes down to the ball striking. It's just a very good setup for somebody like Grillo. He's very accurate off the tee. Also one of the longer players on tour, which is going to help him take advantage of some of these longer par 5s, but also somebody who's extremely accurate into greens. Not only does he have one of the best shots gained approach numbers routinely every single year on the PGA Tour, when we get smaller greens, like we're going to see this week at Narashino, he excels even more. On smaller greens, a little bit of a filter I have in my database, he gains over a stroke per round with his approach play. So when the targets get smaller, he seems to be able to be a little bit more precise. If we take a look at his recent form since July 1st, he's gaining 3/4 of a stroke per round with his ball striking. And bent grass, believe it or not, the only surface on tour, so just like Hideki Matsuyama, where he gains strokes for his career. He's a full 1/3 of a stroke better per round on bent grass, which gives him a very good opportunity to bounce back. And with the type of ball striking that we expect from Grillo, is going to put himself not only in very good situations to score, but is also going to keep himself out of a lot of trouble. So really like him here at the golf course. Again, somebody who's extremely volatile by nature, is just like Hideki Matsuyama with the putter, is going to gain maybe once out of every 10 events, but when he does that, watch the hell out. The guy is going to be in contention. And for our bread and butter play, somebody who was a value pick on this list last week, but with a little bit of a weaker field, with such a great performance, Jhonttan Vegas finds himself in this $8,000 price tier. So $8,900 on the slate, but he's my model's number 1 ranked play in the entire field. So that is the huge spotlight right here. Obviously, my modeling absolutely loves him. If we take a look at why, he's gaining over a stroke per round with his ball striking since July 1st, which is absolutely ridiculous. He's obviously been striping it off the tee like we've seen from Vegas for his entire career, but he's brought the irons as well, gaining nearly half a stroke per round with his approach play since then, which is great to see. Again, he was a value pick last week. He still managed to post a top 15 performance despite losing a significant amount of strokes putting. lost nearly 3 strokes on the greens last week, was able to tune into that length, was able to ratchet up the iron play a little bit more than he was able to in the past. So this week, if he goes out there, he continues that type of ball striking like we've seen for nearly 4 months now. If he decides to bring the putter for just 1 or 2 rounds, somebody who not only is going to contend in this golf tournament, but could very well win. So you saw a little bit of a trend with those first 3 picks. Obviously, guys that are lighting up with the ball striking, but not so good with the putter. I think that is a very good skill set for this golf course. Again, if you guys haven't seen the course breakdown already, my number 1 key stat, shots gained approach. Number 2, shots gained off the tee. And number 3, shots gained putting. So putting isn't something that I'm completely neglecting this week. Just want to go ahead and let you guys know that right now. But in terms of the scoring ability here, the guys that are going to be able to take it to 22, 25 under par, it's the guys with this ball striking ability. They obviously have to bring the putter as well. Just wanted to go ahead and let you guys know that. Before we hop into my last 3 picks here, just wanted to go ahead and let you know about my PGA projections page that is on Patreon, where you guys can get my access to my projections for every player in this week's field. So not just the guys that I'm able to highlight here in our core plays video, but all of the value picks, the rest of the stud tier options, all of the players in this field you can get my numbers for. And not only does that include PGA Tour projections in terms of projected points, you get my ownership rankings for DraftKings. You also get access to whether they're in my player pool, the Discord server to ask me any questions at any point, also interact with the rest of the community. And again, the best part is about it is just $1 for the month. So that's 25 cents a week, a quarter a week for all of these projections. Again, by far the best value in the entire industry. It does not even come close. So I'll put a link down in the description for you guys to go ahead and join. Again, that is the Patreon page, just $1, and you get access to all those projections. And now continuing with our core plays, in our value tier, we have Luke List, who is somebody who's an absolute ball striking phenom, comes in as a top 5 model rank this week, and somebody, just like a lot of our other targets on this list, has really been getting it done with the ball striking, but not necessarily so much with the putter. So since July 1st, Luke List gaining 1.33 shots gained tee to green per round. That is number 1 in this field. He's been an absolute beast from tee to green, not only getting it done off the tee, not only getting it done on approach, but is in much better around the green than we've ever seen from Luke List. That's why we've seen a lot of the performances that we have. Of course, though, like I already mentioned, the putter hasn't been there. It never really is for Luke List. Somebody who gains strokes putting in just 12% of his starts. So we see it from time to time, and when he gains strokes putting, much like a Hideki Matsuyama, much like an Emiliano Grillo, they're not only going to contend, but could very well win that golf tournament. So Luke List at a ball striker's paradise. Definitely like the numbers I've seen of late. And again, while the putting hasn't been there, he's due for one of those performances at some point. He's lost strokes on the greens for about 7 or 8 events at this point. Last time he ended up gaining strokes on the greens was at the Wells Fargo Championship. Almost ended up winning that golf tournament. It was one of my picks going into that week just because the shots gained numbers, especially from tee to green, looked so good. And we find ourselves in a very similar situation, right? So if he goes out there, he continues the ball striking numbers. Even if he's just a neutral putter this week, that's going to be more than enough for a top 5, let alone if he goes out there and gains on the greens. So really like Luke List here. He's definitely not a safe play by any means. Also probably going to garner some ownership at $7,800, $7,900, but I'm definitely willing to go there. He's going to be one of my favorite plays in the value tier here. For our diamond in the rough play, that is Doug Ghim, $7,000. And anytime we get to a golf course where you need a ball striker, and specifically it's on bent grass greens, Doug Ghim is going to pop in my modeling. So as of right now is my model's number 24 ranked play in the entire slate, which at $7,000, that is more than enough value. And as I've already alluded to, a major gainer on bent grass greens. He loses on almost every other surface, is also a gainer on POA, but has a very small sample size on POA. And in general, on bent grass, he's 0.21 shots gained better per round. That is a very significant split right there. And we don't necessarily ever question his ball striking. I mean, for his career, has just been one of the best approach players, period, on the tour, at least in terms of his metrics. But of late, the off the tee play hasn't quite been as good as we're used to. You know, he's typically really accurate off the tee, somebody who's also well above average in terms of his distance, but of late has only gained in 3 of his last 6 events. So that's what's kind of held him back. He's actually been a lot better with the putter of late than we're used to seeing. So somebody who, if he can continue his approach play, if he can tap into that off the tee play that we haven't really seen of late, I really like his upside. He's just very good on these bent grass greens. Also good on smaller greens in general. When we take a look at a filtering between large, small greens, that type of thing, even fast and slow greens, he's really good on bent grass greens that are small and that are really fast. We get all 3 of those things this week. Also a ball striker's paradise. So at $7,000, I think you do a whole lot worse than Doug Ghim. But for our flyer play, and this is a true flyer here, but going along with our theme here, another guy that absolutely cannot putt, but is amazing from tee to green, that is going to be Kyle Stanley at $6,200. If we take a look at his form since July 1st, he's coming in with 1.15 shots gained ball striking per round. So not even tee to green. This guy has been absolutely electric with his off the tee play, absolutely electric with his approach play. The only issue, he's been complete dog shit with the putter. Even more so than somebody like Luke List, Stanley hasn't gained putting in over 12 registered events. The last time he ended up gaining strokes on the greens, he only put up a 35th place finish. So was not able to do it with the ball striking that week. Somehow found the putter, and unfortunately was the only week in the last 20 starts where he's lost strokes on approach. I mean, talk about unlucky. He ended up finding the putter for once, and the very reliable part of his game wasn't there. But at $6,200, this is just a complete misprice. I mean, the guy is almost a top 20 model rank right there at number 21, and he's priced around guys that we've never seen on the PGA Tour before. I mean, a lot of these Japan Tour guys, a lot of players that are in here as sponsorship exemptions, and Kyle Stanley just a much better player than his peers. So again, the putter isn't always there, but even when Stanley doesn't have the putter, he has a relatively high floor. He's somebody who makes a ton of cuts, is able to go out there and at least put up a top 25 finish. So in cash, absolutely love Kyle Stanley this week. I think he has an extremely high floor, especially in one of these no-cut events. But he definitely has that potential. I mean, we've seen him gain strokes putting, at least in his career, a few times, and it happens about 4 or 5 times a year. And if he's able to match that up with the ball striking, he could go out and win this golf tournament, not just compete. So really like him there at $6,200. And again, not somebody I'm going to use as one of my favorite plays on the slate. I'm not going to have 30 or 40% ownership of Kyle Stanley, but something closer to 20-25% is more than reasonable. That is all I've got for my core plays here for the Zozo Championship. Make sure to go ahead and let me know down in the comments who you've got winning this week at the Zozo. Obviously for me, I do think Hideki ends up getting it done as the hometown guy. I think he has the ball striking. I think he has the familiarity with these greens. We obviously saw him play well there in 2019, but go ahead and let me know who you've got. Would love to get some debate going down in the comments and all of that. As always, guys, I really appreciate you guys coming by and supporting the channel, especially watching this content. If you guys haven't already liked the video, you haven't already subscribed to the channel, make sure you guys go ahead and do so. That way you guys don't miss any of the content I post in the future. Not only am I posting DFS content for every single golf tournament, we have course breakdowns here on the channel. We have weekly live streams that we're doing every single week. This week, that is going to be Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. So typically, they're going to be Wednesday evenings at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. But this week, we have a different lock time. It's going to be Wednesday right around 4 or 5 p.m. So as a result, going to be doing it in the morning this time. So make sure to set a reminder. I will put a link in the description for you guys so you can go ahead and do so. Again, that'll be Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time for the live stream. And on top of golf content, we also have tons of football content coming out on the channel. We cover all the showdown live streams in terms for the NFL primetime games. We cover the main slate, all that kind of stuff. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of that. And again, guys, really appreciate the support here on the channel. Until next time, good luck with all of your lineups for this week, and I'll see you.